What's going on, everybody? Coach Linden here, and I'm here to go over a couple different stretches that are going to help you feel and move much better. Just because we noticed that a lot of you were having troubles feeling better from home. So we're putting together a program that you can use no matter what your level is to get stronger and feel better. We're going to start this program by creating these videos that are very put together. They're going to be quick, they're going to be dirty, and the reason they're going to be that way is because, again, we want you to have the exercises. On the other side of the videos, which are actually going to be the ones I'm filming right now, are going to be the ones that are more explained. I'm going to walk you through the workout. So if you just follow along with me, you give me 10 to 15 minutes, you'll be able to finish these workouts every single day until you start to feel much better. All right, let's start with the seated hip flexor stretch. Okay, seated hip flexor stretch is a relative stretch. The reason it's relative is because it's important to understand what you're using. Yes? As we sit and we create space, the first thing you want to do is try to get yourself to a neutral spine. Okay, so that means sitting up at your hips without feeling like you're going to fall. We place our hands towards the side to squeeze ourselves in, and all you're going to do is squeeze the leg and lift the hip. Okay? Now you'll notice I'm doing this one at a time. There's no bend in my knee, which is going to create some very interesting contractions at the hip, depending on how long it's been since you've done this. Okay, now you'll notice I want to slide back. Again, the easy version is the hands further closer to my hips. The harder version is my hands further, with my hands further away from my hips. The goal to do is to use this exercise to help increase the strength around your hips and your lower core. Okay, that's our first exercise, seated hip flexor. All right, let's shoot for, I'm gonna lie to you if I don't look it up, because again, I like to write things down. Let's do 5 reps per side for 3-second holds at the top. Let me do it again. Just give you a set. All right, I'm gonna do an easy set to make sure the demo looks good. 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 And relax. Whew. That's tough, all right? Again, seated hip flexor stretch. So, for the single leg stiff leg deadlift, we're gonna go the same thing. 5 reps, hold at the top to make sure that we're getting it, okay? So the goal here is to create, when we talk about using this movement, so you'll notice if you stand, you want your head over your shoulders directly over your hips directly over your knees directly over your ankles. The goal here is to take that entire contraption and lean over towards the floor. Okay? Now, this is going to be stiff leg, and you'll have to excuse me because it's been a minute since I've done this. The goal here is to use the hip, keep the body lined up, and to move in between to get things set up in a way that helps us to feel and move much better. Okay? Again, lining the body up. Notice that my toe is pointing towards the floor. I do have a slight bend in the foot that's on the ground, but again, the whole reason to do that is to make sure that I can be stable and get this through the appropriate places. Tight hamstrings, bend the knee. All right? Let's do the other side. 5 per side. Hold at the top, 3 seconds. And this is way harder, easier on this side. For those who don't know, I just had a hip injury not too long ago. So one side is much tighter. than the other in terms of what's easier, what's not. Again, 5 reps per side, going parallel as far as you can, leg as straight as you can. Hold it for 3 seconds at the top. That is the single leg, stiff leg deadlift. We have the back foot into the wall, toes off the ground, as much of the foot on the wall as you can manage. And then we're gonna get the other leg away. The goal is to keep the back leg as straight as you can, maybe a slight bend again to make it easier, and to go as far as I can down. What I'm doing is I'm getting a nice stretch to the back. I'm really pressing through the big toes on the back side. Really pushing myself to get the engagement I'm looking for, all while stretching out that long hip. Now it's funny, because the longer I'm in fitness, the more I realize that certain movements are so much easier for certain people. I really struggle with anything that wants me to move through my hamstrings for length, but I'm really strong. Anything that requires me to use them for strength, right? Built a lot of strength over the years, and strength, first and foremost, is relative. One of my sides is very good, the other one, not so much. A lot of that has to do with the fact that I built up resistances, being a bodybuilder, lifting heavy, lifting often. And that makes things a bit harder. All right. Again, same thing. Get to the bottom, give yourself a slight pause. Let's move for 5, knees over toes as far as you can manage, while keeping that back leg straight and engaged. 5 reps in each side, okay? Next, we have the couch stretch, okay? So I'm giving this to you all as I do it myself, because this is part of my routine for recovery. So before I was doing this, I was in so much pain every single time I went to go do any of these things. Everything felt terrible. So if things are feeling terrible in the start of your journey, that's fine. The reason why I'm doing it on here is a soft service can do wonders for this stretch for your body, okay? Also elevating the knee helps a little bit. You can do this on the floor. I'm showing you like I'm doing it in real time, like I'd be doing it myself, and then going for it. So this is a 2-minute stretch, okay? What we're gonna do is we're gonna start by lifting the leg up as high as we can take it. Then we're going to untuck the foot, and then you're gonna try to sit back as far as you can, okay? And I'm starting the timer now. So you'll notice I'm having a lot of trouble even sitting back into this hip because of how tight my ankles and everything else are. Now the beautiful and terrible part about this is that I'm not pushing really hard. As you can see, if I let my hand off my knee, I'm using my knee for stability to breathe and try to relax. Once I reach 30 seconds, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna push into the wall to help myself go up further. So we're at 30 seconds now. I'm pushing my leg into the wall, using my hand to help my core stay stable without arching my back, and pushing myself into a better position, which is super, super tough stuff, okay? But we learned, if yoga taught me anything, it's the same lesson you get in life. Breathe through it, right? Sometimes the first option you choose is not the option to make it work. So if you want to make it work, breathe through it, okay? Now the whole goal here is to sit, pushing into that leg hard as you can, which is going to help your hip pull through. Once you reach 30 seconds, you're going to you're going to relax, and then do another 30-second stretch. So we are officially in 3, 2, 1 at relax. My whole goal now is to just sit back. You're gonna feel your hips fight you on this one. Whew. This is tough to do. This is not easy, but again, breathe and you'll make it. Okay, Again, you see I don't have my hand on my front leg. Again, I'm just trying to relax in this position as much as possible. And this is the couch stretch. Goodness gracious. Oh! All right. 2 minutes per side, 30 seconds. Very, very, very passive. Where can I get? 1 minute following the 30 seconds, pushing hard and trying to create length. Then another 30 seconds, relaxing and seeing if you can find a deeper stretch based on your effort. Give it a try. And I'm gonna do the other side because you gotta do both. All righty. Oh. Now you notice I keep a handy dandy timer on my watch. If you don't have your watch, grab your phone. Believe me, you will hop out of this very fastly if you do not time it. So have a timer handy. It's super important that you can actually see how long you're taking with these things. I promise you, you're gonna be looking for the first chance to get out of there if you're not used to this type of stretching, okay? Again, front leg forward. This is my bad hip, by the way, so this should be very, very interesting. All right, and then, yep, I can't even move. Again, this is where we start seeing the difference when people are like, oh, you guys push us so hard, right? And they're like, we can't make it. And then we show them that we do the same thing. 1 minute, going for 1 minute now, to ourselves to cry and help our bodies be the best versions of themselves as well. No, it's not easy. No, it's not fun. This is different, I'm gonna say, okay? And as I continue to breathe and stretch, again, I'm pushing through the wall to help myself really get into this. Again, my quad really needs to stretch. I injured my groin, or my back, which ended on a blood clot in my groin, which I now have to deal with on a regular. So, the journey's not always easy, right? But it's so well worth it. Being able to do what you want to do with your body, it's a large part of the reason why I train in the first place. And now we try to relax for the last 30 seconds. Done correctly, this is going to feel great at the end, but not while you do it. And we're done here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, that is the couch stretch. Goodness gracious. Okay. Oh, this is the standing pike stretch. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to get through those ranges of motion and then use our body to start creating the type of range we want. Again, the beautiful part about me doing this is that you all are getting to see this raw, uncut. I'm not, super stretching and then doing these. I came cold, just like I would expect you to, and I went right into these stretches, right? So the standing pike, let me put the blocks down, is actually a lot more difficult for me than probably most people, right? Because again, I have a very tight rear posterior chain, okay? So my feet are inside shoulder width apart. I'm leaning over. The whole goal here is to come down and to create tension using my legs and learning how to use the back of my body to reach further until I get to a place where I can use my hands and press down with my scapula to really start getting the range I want. Okay, so in order to do this type of stuff, again, you have to bring the floor to you. So I'm going to show you how I bring the floor to me using more than likely what you'll have. I would assume if you're at your house, even if you don't have a set of yoga blocks, you don't need yoga blocks. What you need is a way to elevate your surface. Okay, so AKA you can use a chair, you can use a bed. And as a matter of fact, to keep things honest, let me grab a chair, okay? It's important that you do this in a way you can really do it. So the way we're doing it today is a way, I expect you to do it right from the comfort of your own home. All right? We all have chairs. There's no way you can't say you don't have chairs in your home. And if you don't, you have a bed. You have some type of elevated surface, a counter, a bed, a chair. So again, find one that works for you. I'm so tight nowadays that simply doing this is enough, okay? What I'm doing is I'm creating tension through the top of my body by reaching over and tucking my chin and pressing. That allows for me to start shifting from the weight being backwards to the weight being closer to me. Now, this is too high for me, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use some blocks to help me assess. Now, my blocks are going to be at the highest level, aka the tall version, because if you notice, when I first reach down, I'll do it again, this is about as far as I could go without relaxing. So now I'm going to go ahead, use the blocks to help me assess, and then press into them to help my legs kind of float and create that length through the back of my body. Starting for 1 minute. Now, tucking the chin, rolling down, placing the hands down, and then working on not bending the legs, but on breathing and assessing my pike based on time. My goal is to put my palms down on the blocks if I can via protraction and push. Instead of bending my legs, I'm using the blocks again to tell myself where to go, which helps the back to relax. Again, this is a very, I wouldn't say super hard move to do, but it's very hard to be in a space where your body feels safe enough to start doing what you're asking. So lean over, press, push, create the type of the power you really want through your body. It's good stuff. Keeping the legs straight is very hard for me here. So that's a large part of my journey. As you can see, my palms are almost down. And that's 1 minute. My palms are all damn near down on the blocks. Again, go from, let's say, this high off of the blocks to, right, let's say that high off the blocks is a great improvement. Think of this as a weekly practice. You can do this 2 times a week, but really focus on getting the length that you need so you can start getting the changes that you want to see in your body. Hope to see you next time. And this is Long and Strong. Peace.